Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Carnival Cruise review. So today is going to be video 5 of 6 in the series. This is a little mini series kind of like for this review, mostly because when I tried to do it all at once, it ended up being really super long, and I decided that it would be better to have it broken up into different sections to help those who are only looking for certain things when they're going through and looking at different reviews or whatever they want to know before they go on their cruise. I thought this would make it a lot easier. So if you're not really familiar and this is the first one you are watching, then we have been talking basically about different parts of my cruise that I took back in November of 2017. It was around November the 25th, I want to say. I think that was the day that we left. And I've been talking about different parts of the cruise, and today we are going to talk about the entertainment. Yesterday I talked a little bit about the excursions. We've talked about the food already, staterooms, and the price of the cruise itself. And then today we'll be talking about entertainment, and then of course when I record the next one it would be about my overall experience with the cruise and cruise line and Carnival, everything that goes along with it. So let's go ahead and let's get right into this. Okay, so you can see the beautiful camera work there. Not done by me, okay, so don't blame me for that one. That was his fault. He's the one that did that. Always putting his finger right in front of the lens. But anyway, so we're going to talk about the entertainment. Now, granted, I'm not going to be able to give you too much information about the entertainment. It's probably going to be my shortest part of all of them because for us, we didn't really do much in the entertainment category, basically. That's why you're only seeing 2 videos, one of which is the only thing we actually went to on the ship that they had actually timed and planned out, and the other thing was just from our dining room that night. I think it was like the last night that we were on the cruise. They were sending us away with a big old party, or having a big party atmosphere and stuff like that. But other than that, that's pretty much all we did. So that's why you can only see 2. So Carnival Ecstasy is the oldest ship. I believe it's one of the oldest ships that Carnival owns. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly the date whenever the ship was made, but I know it's got a history. And it's a little bit older than some of the newer ships. So there isn't as much to do on it as some of the bigger ones or the brand new ones that they've just made, but they do have a few things to do on there. There are some, I want to say there are some water slides, but honestly I don't even know if I even saw any, to be honest. We weren't really there to go on the water slides anyway because it was more of like a kids area rather than a water slide area. It was kind of like just a place, a little splash zone or whatever you want to call it, just for the kids. And I don't even think that was on our ship. I could be wrong because I've been looking at videos of different cruise ships as well that Carnival has, trying to look at what could possibly might be my next cruise ship that I go on if it's a different one. And I've been so confused because on some of them you see those water slides and everything, and then on the other ones you don't. So I could be totally not thinking right on Carnival Ecstasy, but we should be able to see here in just a minute if that is true or not. Other than that, they had a mini golf thing at the front of the ship, which we did that one time, but it was kind of rough because the wind was really blowing that day and it was kind of cool, so it was kind of weird to play mini golf that day. I don't know if it was just because of the time of year that we left, but it was very windy. And then they also had, of course, a casino, which we don't gamble, so we didn't do anything with that. And we don't smoke, so we didn't really want to go near the casino because we didn't want to smell the smoke. And they had the bars, of course, but you know, we didn't have the drink all you want package, so we had to kind of be a little conservative there with what we get. We didn't just want to go all out and just spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on alcoholic beverages. Plus, I don't drink anyway, and it was kind of like a thing where if I couldn't do it, or I didn't really want to do it, he didn't want to go either, because it was just me and him on the trip, so he didn't really have anybody he could drink with. He was fine with it, of course, but it would just been better if he would have had someone there with him as well. But that was pretty much it. Now they had on Ecstasy, they had the Punchliner Comedy Club, I think is what it's called, where they have the comics there, and that's actually one of the things that we went to a lot. If we would have to say one entertainment aspect that we really enjoyed, probably would be that, because it's really the only thing we actually did. This ice carving thing here was on the agenda. Basically, they'll send you a little agenda book every morning or sometime during the beginning of the cruise, and it tells you all the activities that are going to be happening on board the ship each day and about what time that they start. So you can go down through there and look at different things that they'll have for you to do. We didn't really find any of that stuff entertaining for us, because one of the reasons we went on the cruise was to relax and enjoy ourselves, not to be running around back and forth from one place to another because, oh, it's time for this, or no, we gotta catch this before it's over, or we gotta catch this before it starts. That wasn't something that we wanted to do. So we decided to just do the ice carving thing, only because the people that we dined with at dinner, they really wanted to go see the ice carving thing as well. So we thought we would actually just go together, because we were trying to get to know the people that we sat at with dinner, because they were really nice people, and that way we had someone else to talk to on the ship. There is a Serenity deck, which is on the Carnival Ecstasy. Probably not the Serenity decks that you're used to if you've been on another Carnival ship. It was pretty basic. Like, they had the chairs out there, no big huge like bed type loungers like I've seen on some of the other cruise lines and on some other Carnival ships. Just the regular loungers, like you can see in the video there. And then they had 2 jacuzzis, one that was lukewarm and one that I heard was apparently really warm and the best jacuzzi to be in, but unfortunately we never even got a chance to get in it, because every single time we went down to the Serenity deck, there was somebody in that jacuzzi at all times. It was always packed. So whenever we found one that was open, we got in it, and they were like, well, it's okay, it's lukewarm, but it's fine, I guess. So we did use that pretty often, as much as we could, but the only thing was we really wanted to use it to not have to go in the pools and around the jacuzzi area in the main deck. So what you're seeing in the ice carving video, that's kind of like the main deck area, and there's like a huge pool out there, and then there's 2 jacuzzis, I believe, on both sides of the pool. But those are, of course, always filled as well. And there's kids and stuff that are around the pool area, of course. And we didn't want to do that. We don't really like to swim in pools anyway. We prefer warm water versus cold. So we stuck to the Serenity deck, but the only thing was you had to go there and kind of try to find a seat. And once you found one, you kind of just had to wait there for a really long time until someone decided they wanted to be nice and let you get into the hot tub or jacuzzi, whatever you want to call it, whirlpool. Because a lot of them would go out there as soon as the Serenity deck was open and stay out there in the whirlpool all day long. I know there was a day that we went out there early in the morning, and we saw that there was a group of people that went out and got into the whirlpool, the good one, the one that was really hot and bubbly and nice. So we thought, okay, well, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go to our room, or we'll go relax and do something, and we'll come back a little bit later and check and see if it's kind of cleared out some, and then we'll make our way down to the deck. Nope, didn't happen. We checked back 2 or 3 times that day, and every time we checked, there was always someone in that whirlpool, in that jacuzzi. So we ended up going in the lukewarm one a couple of times, but we did spend a lot of our time on the ship on the Serenity. Now they also have different things you can do for different types of ships. So on Ecstasy, a lot of the things that they had were like seminars, they had art showings, they had a cherry on top dessert thing. It's kind of like a candy store. Different types of places where you can take pictures and photos. And stuff like this right here with the art, ice carving. They did a lot of different activities like that. So it wasn't anything too gigantic or too whatever you want to call it. It wasn't anything too extravagant, because the ship itself is pretty simple in its design. So I thought what we would actually do though is that we would go ahead and take a look at the activities that you can actually find on the cruise ship and different things that you can do, because the Carnival website, once again, I will mention that they have a really easy to look around for and follow website here on carnival.com. So it's pretty nice when you're wanting to look for something or look something up. So there's different activities, of course. We talked about this a little bit in a few of the other videos. But you can see right here is the Serenity Adult Only Retreat that we had. It's on pretty much every ship, but on ours, it was not as good as it probably could have been. And I hope eventually they'll, make it look better. But we basically had just those little lounge chairs. We didn't have any of those big, huge ones like that. We didn't even have any hammocks either. So it was pretty bare, and I don't think the deck was that large. And it also was not covered with wind-breaking glass as well, because it was on the end of the ship. So you just got the breeze. If it was cold outside, you would be cold. Or if it was hot outside, you would be hot. It was there. It was at the end of the ship. So there's that. And then you can see that there's the waterworks stuff here. Let's actually see. It is on the Ecstasy, so I was not mistaken. But we just didn't use them. It wasn't something that we really cared for to use. So there's also that. And then they didn't have an IMAX on ours. I thought they did, but they didn't, because I had told the people who went with me, well, actually just one person, I told him that there would be an IMAX theater where we would go and we could watch movies, but it was not on our ship, unfortunately, so we couldn't go and do that. There's tons of things on there. Now the Seuss at Sea thing, I believe that they do as a breakfast as well. It's not on the Carnival Ecstasy, because I was gonna say I didn't think I saw anything about it, but they had a Dr. Seuss breakfast. I know somebody did on one of the ships. I don't remember if it was Ecstasy or not. It was some of the other videos that I was watching. But you can basically just go through here and look at all kinds of different things, like the activities. And this is some of the stuff that they do on the ship that you can actually have. This is like the timed stuff, I think. So the cherry on top is what I was talking about before. Apparently they have a Build-A-Bear workshop at sea, cooking demonstrations, atrium. Now the atrium we did go to once, and that area is where they play like live music with a live band, and you can sit down at the bar down there and listen to the music. we did that on formal night after we got through with our dinner, and that was very nice to sit down there and listen to some music. The mixologist competitions, I believe I saw those as well. I don't remember about that, but bingo, of course. Internet is extra if you want to pay for internet on the ship. The art exhibitions, we went to one of those. It was just a long hallway with lots of artwork, and we just walked through there and looked at all the art, and we were good on our way back to our room. Mini golf we played as well. Didn't look like this, of course. Looked a little bit more bare than that. That one looks a lot more fun. But that was on there. They have tons of games that they do every single day on the ship. And there's just tons of stuff. You can just go through here and see what you can do on the ship. I don't think there was a library on ours, though. See, they have all this stuff, but then you can go and check. Oh, apparently there was. I don't even know where the library was then on ours. But it was in here somewhere. So there's just so much things that you can do all the time. It's just we didn't really take the time to do that. I don't know why. We just preferred to relax and not do anything at all and not be rushed with anything. And then of course they also had a track there for running that went all the way around the ship. And you can see different entertainment aspects. They have the lip sync battles on certain ones. The Punchliner Comedy Club, that was what we went to. And that was probably our favorite thing that we did. It is a adults only at like, I think it was, 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock or something like that. And then they had the other one for the jokes for everyone, not just adults, at like 6 or 7 o'clock. We went to a few of those and really enjoyed them. And I think that's pretty much it. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's on there all the time and things that are always going on. It's just if you want to do it, then you can do it. And of course, you have the spas, different things that you can do. I'm pretty sure the only one that we had was Cloud9 Spa on ours. But there is tons of different things that you can do. And there's also a jewelry shop as well. That's where we went to go, and they had a raffle one day. So we decided to go to the raffle, and we actually ended up winning, which is very surprising. I couldn't even believe it when I won. But I won like this $100 bracelet. So we stayed there for the whole entire thing. We didn't end up winning anything else, but we were super close. We were one number away on one of the tickets for winning something else. But we did win that one, and I was pretty happy about that because I'm usually pretty unlucky, and I usually don't win anything. Now the events, that's the stuff that they do with Carnival. They do them for deck parties, like whenever you are getting ready to leave the port, I think. And then they have a sail away party, which is, I want to say that's the same thing. So the sail away party is, let's see, where they go and, I don't know. Oh, yes, this is before you cruise. So we're sailing away from the port, and we are getting ready to party. We didn't really do any of that, though. We were kind of just ready to get to our room. But that is actually some of the stuff that you can find on the entertainment aspect of things. Like I said, this is going to be probably the shortest one that we're done, because for me, for us, we didn't really do very much entertainment-wise. Pretty much ate, and when we got to a port, we got off onto the island, and then we stayed in our rooms and relaxed on our balcony. So there wasn't very much that we were planning on doing. I know we did a lot of sleeping and a lot of eating. I do know that for a fact. And that was pretty much it. Though the comedy shows, we did those, like I had said multiple times. I can stop repeating myself, basically. But I do need to review Carnival's aspect of entertainment, and honestly, they call themselves the fun ships. So obviously you're going to have fun when you go on Carnival. There's always going to be something to do. To me, though, I think it just depends on your ship that you're actually on, your cruise ship. Because if you're on one of the newer ones, then there's always going to be way more stuff to do on there versus some of the older ones. So it just depends. But for us, I would have really liked there to have been a steakhouse, because I was really looking forward to going somewhere like a restaurant type place on the cruise ship. But they didn't have any of those on the Carnival Ecstasy. I was also looking forward to going to the IMAX theater. They didn't have one of those there as well. So there were a lot of things that I probably would have liked to have done. It's just something that we couldn't do because it wasn't available to us. So they could, I mean, I know it might be pretty difficult to do, but if you're going to offer something on a certain ship versus another one, then I would say kind of update your older ones, your older ships, because it just seems weird. Like sometimes you would probably just take a cruise on a certain ship just so that you can do some of the activities that aren't offered on the other ones. And I don't want to base my cruise on the type of fun that there's going to be on a ship. I want them to all kind of be the same and have about the same stuff on them as the rest of them. So that's just what I think, because we were pretty limited on what we could do. But I think they do a good job at entertaining everyone and keeping everyone busy and always doing something, if that's what you want to do, or you can just lay out and relax as well. So I think that's actually going to do it for the entertainment portion of the video. So I think we're going to go ahead and end it off here. But next time, though, we're going to be wrapping things up. The next video is going to be the final video in my Carnival Cruise review series. And I am going to be talking about, of course, my overall experience with Carnival Cruise Lines themselves, as well as how I basically handled things and how I dealt with everything on the Carnival cruise ships, or just the cruising in general. So for now, I will see you guys in the next video.